Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. We're going to be talking about transit Mars making a square opposition or inconjunct aspect to one's natal Mars. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Mars, this could be about energy, vitality, courage, fortitude, drive, motivation, anger, acrimony, initiative, and enterprise. When this transit of Mars is making basically an adverse aspect to your own natal Mars, and when I say basically adverse aspect, I'll elaborate on that. That is because the square and opposition aspects, of course, are adverse and negative transits, but the inconjunct aspect can be seen as neutral. But when you have an inconjunct aspect, it can require an adjustment, a transition, and these things can be, can be tension filled. It can be exasperating. So collectively, basically, the transit is adverse. But anyway, when you have the transit of Mars, making the basically an adverse aspect to your own natal Mars, this may manifest in energy, vitality, courage, fortitude, drive, motivation, anger, acrimony, initiative, and enterprise. This might conflict with your actions at this time. It might be where maybe you don't have the motivation or drive to act on something. If the natal Mars is in Scorpio, it might be might even be a crisis situation. It could be something with insurance or taxes, or even a death, a matter connected with death. Whether it might be making a will up or what have you, or taking care of a will if you're like the executor of it, I should say. It could be a situation because the will is supposed to be made up before the death. But anyway, you understand what I understand. But the thing is, when you look at this transit, this could also be, Mars is about our enterprise, our initiative. Maybe we don't really feel the drive or have the energy to take an initiative and enterprise on, or act with enterprise on something. It might be a time of procrastination, especially if you have like the Cancer, like a sign like Pisces or Cancer is involved, which those two signs can be notorious for procrastination. And this could be something to remember. Mars is connected with courage and fortitude, and it might be a situation where it's hard for you to summon the energy to do something that might require some kind of courage or fortitude, whether it might be could be something as simple as making a major change in your life scheme. It could be getting out of some adverse situation, going back to the zodiac sign Cancer and or the fourth house. Even if that's involved, it might be a domestic situation that you need to extricate yourself from. For example, maybe you just don't, you can't summon the energy to really do it at this time, to find the courage to actually do that and take action on that matter. Now, Mars is also associated with sex, sexuality. Sometimes this could be where maybe you don't have the drive or the energy to do things of a sexual nature at this time. It can be maybe a situation where maybe there's other actions, there's other activities that might be taking precedence on this, over this, I should say. Mars is associated with our energy and vitality. So it could be a time where you don't really have have the initiative maybe to do things that require a certain amount of energy, using a certain amount of vitality at this time. Maybe a physical injury is impacting your vitality adversely. It might be making you more sluggish, or not really feel like doing a whole lot at this time. And again, Mars is associated with acrimony, anger, it's agitation. It can be that maybe somebody Mars related. It could be maybe a sexual partner, somebody that works that's law enforcement, might be causing some kind of anger issue with you at this time. Might be causing some irritation. Mars is also associated with physical injuries. So these things, if you have a physical injury, that it might be causing, more anger and acrimony, more so than usual, more irritation. Maybe if there's something that involves rehab, maybe you're having a harder time summoning the energy, the vitality to go through a rehab process to actually take care of this injury. And say if Gemini is involved, maybe there's something, with the arms or the hands or the shoulders that need some kind of physical therapy, and you're just not really up for it at this time. Another thing too, Mars anatomically can be connected with the head, the skull, the face, uh, the private area. Can be something where there might be greater propensity to injury with these things at this time. Mars is also connected with burns. Maybe perhaps an accident may take place where you wind up getting some burn or cut or incision at this time. And Mars is also connected with confrontation, with combat, with fighting. In some isolated cases, it may manifest an attack where you're forced to fight or defend yourself in some isolated cases. Um, and Mars again is connected with anger. It's something where somebody again like a sexual partner might be causing more anger or acrimony than usual. It could be a physical injury. Maybe it has to do with an energy level that might be causing this, lack of energy, for example, maybe. And Mars is also connected with our enterprise, our initiative. Maybe you don't have the energy to go, take the initiative on something that needs to be done. Um, it could be some kind of issue that might be making you angry, that might be maybe prohibiting you from taking initiative. Maybe it's causing some distraction and you're too upset to actually do so. Um, Mars is also connected with our drive, our motivation. It might be a situation where maybe you might feel unmotivated. Maybe it could be due to depleted energy. It might be just difficult, to something maybe physically, and maybe there's something physical going on, a physical injury, which might be factoring into your drive and motivation to do something. Mars could also be associated with surgery, so it can be a time where there may be some isolated cases, a little greater proclivity for an injury to take place that might require some surgery. And anyway, well, this could also be manifest in not being motivated or having the drive to perform certain actions and activities at this time. Now, let's say, for example, the natal Mars is in Scorpio in the fifth house. Maybe it's something extreme. Scorpio is extreme energy, and the fifth house could be connected with sports, some extreme sports. Maybe you don't have the motivation or drive to be getting involved in at this time. The situation, maybe there's something more contentious with the sexual partner at this time, if applicable. Let's say if the transit Mars is in Sagittarius, maybe it's over an opinion or a belief or philosophy or some religion at this time. Maybe there's a dispute connected with one or more of these things. Um, and also, too, another way this transit may be expressed, it could be an accident, may adversely affect your enthusiasm. Now, let's say, for example, um, you know, if the transit Mars is in Gemini and or the third house, maybe it's something that might involve a car or vehicle accident that might be doing this and might have caused some injury. That might be affecting your enthusiasm, your exuberance at this time. Also, some cases there may be a greater tendency or possibility of having some kind of confrontation or dispute with law enforcement, or maybe even surgeons in isolated cases, people that are prominent in sports. It could simply be somebody that's prominent in sports on a team on a recreational local team in your area. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, say if this could be, sometimes this could be about impulsive actions, might cause physical injury. Say if the natal Mars is in Aquarius, maybe there's some shock sensation, or maybe there could be some situation with the ankles or the shins or calves, lower legs. As a result of an accident, there might be maybe an injury to one of those things I just stated. Um, some cases, if surgery is transpiring at this time, it might cause more pain, more upsetment, more anger than usual, perhaps. If Mars is in, let's say, if the transit Mars is in Cancer, maybe there's something with the chest as far as a surgical procedure, the breast area, the stomach, maybe the ribs even. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.